Welcome, welcome, travelers and tale seekers, to the tavern, where we gather around the digital hearth to share secrets, unravel mysteries, and dive deep into the realms of imagination. Pull up a chair and grab a tankard of your favorite brew, and get ready for a journey through the lands of anime, manga, literature, and truly all of your beloved tales. But here in the tavern, secrets aren't just whispers in the night. They're the heart of our merry gathering. They transform you from a mere spectator into a sage of stories and a master of lore. So let your worries fade, your curiosity reign, and your laughter fill the air as we embark on an adventure filled with camaraderie, discovery, and of course, all the tales you can handle. Because in the Tavern of Tales, we don't just talk about our favorite media, we truly live and breathe them. Join me and your beloved co-host for another adventure into tales and media. Welcome to the Bard's Tavern Talk. Today I want to talk to you about a friend of mine named Ernie. Ernest Fairchild is a young boy who possessed the supernatural power to sketch scenes that would later come to pass. For instance, he drew himself and his family together with a little brother. Several months later, his mom became pregnant with their second son. Ernie originally had an enjoyable life, but his father became the town pariah because his superiors at the local lumber yard forced him to lay off many workers. Things started to turn sour. Mr. Fairchild began to drink heavily and kill Ernest's pet rat, Smiley, in an inebriated fit of anger. This enraged Ernest and led to him drawing a picture of a car crashing into a tree. It so happened that his mother was driving over to a local bar to pick up her husband while he was driving. This ended up crashing into a tree, just like Ernest's sketch. In addition to suffering numerous injuries, she had a miscarriage, which caused her to slip into an abusive psychosis, matching that of her husband. So as he was being abused by his parents, his powers just got stronger. It kind of sounds like a dark Matilda.
Oh my god. Oh, that's a name drop. That movie's right? Great.
Let's drop that out. Everybody's like, who? A few of them are going to Google it and it's going to go to something else because it doesn't even come up as like a recent anything anymore.
No, that is definitely a fucking YouTube or a fucking Google rabbit hole.
Oh, who was it? Danny DeVito. That was a fantastic Danny DeVito performance. I love that man.
Oh my god, I forgot that he was in that.
Right? How did you forget that hairpiece, man? And that just what was her name? I don't even remember her name. The wife.
The old cranky Russian lady.
Russian
sounding lady.
The ditzy chick that he was with. No, I want to talk about the end of that movie where they just were like, okay, it's cool. We'll just sign this paperwork, give you our kid, and leave. You should go watch that movie again as an adult. It's a lot darker than I remember.
Oh yeah. Who is that?
The lady that adopted Matilda.
Yeah, no, the blonde-haired lady.
I don't
was
remember.
Married to Danny DeVito.
Oh, let's find out. Sidetrack already. By the way, we didn't do an intro.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome to the tavern. Please pull up a stool and listen to our ramblings. Can I get you a beer? There, that was our intro. That was it.
Whoa. She got hot all of a sudden. Anyway.
Did you just look it up? You got to it faster than I did, didn't you?
Oh yeah, no, as soon as you brought up Matilda, I was like, to the Google. Is it Ray Perlman? Yeah, it's Ray Perlman.
Wow.
American actress, born in 48.
You were talking about Mara Wilson.
No, Ray Perlman is the...
No, originally when you were like, she got hot all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that's what I was referring to, sorry.
Anyway, back to Ernie. Anyway.
Okay, right.
So,
Psycho kid can draw pictures, fucks up futures.
But wait, as they were beating him and he started to get stronger, he started to be able to hear the thoughts of people around him. He discovered that many of his neighbors knew that he was being battered by his parents, but didn't do anything to help him. Either they had lost their jobs at the lumber yard or were too bitter to care, or they just still had their jobs and too afraid of losing their jobs if they confronted his father. So Ernest's parents sought to cure him of his abilities and brought him to Dr. Leonard Price. Dr. Leonard Price is an important character in the comics, who had been working on a device dubbed the Dream Probe. Price, not knowing about the abuse Eddie was suffering, submitted him to his device. The guy that wrote this English is not his first language. I'm literally just telling you this story to get to the point that I care about. Dr. Leonard Price, who had been working on a device dubbed the Dream Probe. Price, not knowing about the abuse that Eddie was suffering, applied him to this project, which sent him to something called the Endless Graveyard, where he met Lady Death. There, she offered to give him the love that he so desperately desired if he killed everything on Earth. Once the treatment was over, Ernest pretended to be cured and went home with his parents, only to murder them the next morning along with 35 others before he was shot by Dr. Price, who had come back to check in on him. After this time, he was incarcerated in a mental asylum under the observation of Dr. Price, who blamed himself for Ernest's murder spree and vowed to make sure it never happened again. Dr. Price lost hope for Fairchild early on, but the doctor named Mary Young invented a process of altering one's mind known as neurotech. Despite Price's protests, Ernest was submitted to the neurotech device. During the treatment, Lady Death used her telepathic link with him to cause the machine to explode, killing Ernest. When the nurse placed a smiley face pin intended to be a gift upon his release to his corpse, Lady Death used it as a conduit for arcane energy, mutating Ernest into the powerful undead monster that we will know as Evil Ernie. It's
quite a mouthful for a comic book introduction.
But I love the story, and I love Evil Ernie, and he's demented, he's crazy, and it's wonderful. So Smiley, actually, the badge that is the conduit for her power, he talks to Ernie.
What, like psychotic extra friend, or
pretty much? His homie, Smiley. It helped. He was actually the more sane decision maker. He seems to be more clear-minded than Ernie. Cracks wise. It's believed that Smiley is the revived form of Ernest's pet rat, whom his father killed in a rage. But for the most part, however, his personality is more easygoing and comical than Ernie's. So he's kind of like the comic relief.
Oh, okay.
Like the clown to Spawn.
Oh, Violator.
There you go, Violator. Fuck that guy. I can't believe that was Luigi. What's his name? Oh, come on. Emilio Estevez.
No.
Ooh.
John Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo. Wow. Wow. I'm way off. Do they even look alike? Let's Google it.
Not even close.
Sounds like Hispanic. Whoa. Not even... That's his name is Emilio Estevez? That is not what I thought his name was.
Once again, not even close.
Sheen. He's a Sheen. I know this. Okay. Anyway. Squirrel moment. All right, so I always thought his powers were pretty cool.
He draws things. That's kind of cool.
And then it happens.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. So when does he go like supernova crazy badass though?
Oh wow. So there is a reboot that I am not familiar with at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know this was a thing. Chaos Highway to Hell is a whole nother thing. Wow, cool. So Ernie goes at 1 through 5 in 1991 at Eternity Comics, and then he moves to Adventure Comics, and he gets a special limited edition in 1992, and it's only one issue. And then he gets bought by Chaos Comics, where they go 1 through 5 for Youth Gone Wild. They really open him up. They do Resurrection 1 through 4. This is another series. First one was in 1996. Resurrection was in 1993. Number 0 is also in 1993. Revenge 1 through 4 came out in 1994. And the list goes on and on and on. And then what is this? Dynamite buys them in 2012. And in 2016, there's an Alice Cooper versus Chaos.
Alice Cooper versus Chaos.
I love it.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm looking at it right there. Issues 1 through 6. We're gonna have to read those.
Would absolutely read the shit out of that. What do you mean? That's awesome.
That sounds amazing. It sounds like everything I dream about.
It's Chaos Highway to Hell is a whole separate thing by itself. Cool, man. That's neat. There's so much more to this comic than I knew. And see, this is just the initial layer to the person I really am here to talk about. Is the gorgeous white-skinned, white hair. The only color on her whole body is red lipstick, as far as we can tell, canonically. Lady Death. Lady Death was... I didn't even discover Ernie first. I discovered Lady Death through the animated movie, and I loved the concept because it gave a pretty cool look into this whole series. Now, it didn't mention Eddie once because Lady Death is her origin story, the movie I saw. And right. To describe the movie, it was released in 2004 by ADV Films, and the movie begins in the 15th century in Sweden, where Hope, the beautiful daughter of Matthias, a skilled mercenary who is actually a demon, is accused of being the devil's consort, sentenced by the town to be burned at the stake. Matthias, through his proxy, the Jester Pagan, which you should watch this. The Jester, it's one of the characters I really like. Offers her life if she surrenders herself to him and joins him in hell. Matthias's plan to corrupt her is met with unanticipated resistance as Hope rejects his scheme and eventually finds herself transformed into the powerful warrior Lady Death, who changes Lucifer for control of hell, or challenges Lucifer for control of hell itself. Many of the events from the comics are altered in the animated filming. Instead of summoning demon with whom she bargains for her life, Hope's spell summons a pair of flying demons that carry her physically to hell, restoring her badly burned body in the process, dropping her in the court of her father, who intends for her to join him by his side. Wow, blah, blah. Let me get my tongue together. When she refuses, he casts her out, only for her to side with the master blacksmith, Cremator, which is so the crappiest fucking name ever. Oh, you could have given him anything else, but his name is Cremator.
Oh, that's terrible. That's what they came up with?
Yeah.
Oh, God, shame on them.
He's an escaped slave of Satan and led an army of hellspawn creatures against him. In this continuity, her curse is to be trapped in hell for as long as one of Lucifer's allies remain alive. Unlike in the comic, Lady Death is presented as more of a heroine whose goal isn't to destroy all life on Earth, but to liberate hell from Lucifer's tyranny. So, anyone of Lucifer's allies, anyone, which is all of us, if we do anything that's a sin. So, now that you've heard what I know, we're going to talk about the first Lady Death, which is where we're introduced to her from Ernie. So, Lady Death originated as a hallucination by a troubled boy named Ernie Fairchild. Ernie believed that Lady Death was his dream girl, a violent, sexy supervillain. She promised to love Ernie forever in exchange for his loyalty and vowed to kill everyone on Earth. Initially, Lady Death's appearances in Ernie's stories were that of a muse and confidant. Eventually, it is revealed that she is his own demonic entity. Her true intentions and her past remains a mystery. As Ernie's story progressed, Lady Death moved on and led her own. She does separate from him. That's why we do have our separation of comics, but she still used Ernie. He was still an important part of that because she couldn't leave hell until he killed all allegiances of Satan.
Right.
So this whole story, we have to pick one. First Lady Death was just kind of short. So the one that I like the most is the one that has the most meat, and that's our classic. But then they have the classic at Avatar Press. So it continues. Yeah, they got a few notable differences, so we're gonna cover that separately. But so far, we're gonna stick to this one, and I'm gonna start its story now. The setting for the original Lady Death comic was in medieval Sweden. The woman who would become Lady Death was born immortal named Hope. Her father was a local nobleman named Matthias, who was despised by the peasants as a cruel tyrant for forcibly conspiring peasants into military service as feudal slaves. The exact nature of the law of... Let me reread that. The exact nature of the war that Matthias was prosecuting is not specified, although evidence from the recent revision of the character by Avatar Press suggests that it may have been one of the Northern Crusades, also known as the Baltic Crusades. Unknown to his innocent daughter, Matthias had a dark secret. Although congratulated by the church for his work against the pagans and was outwardly pious, Matthias was secretly dabbled in black magic and demonology. He was actually a descendant of the fallen angels who had led rebellion against God. By contrast, Hope's mother was a woman so pure and innocent that her bloodline reached heaven. Hope's mother died when Hope was still in her late teens and was left to live with her father. So already they're giving us a lot more meat, a lot more there, and this is just from the breakdown.
It might have even scattered a couple of potatoes in there.
Right. Eventually, Matthias's cruelty triggered a peasant uprising. Matthias narrowly escaping death at the hands of the rebels by summoning a demon. But Hope was captured by the rebels and accused of witchcraft. Faced with the prospect of execution by burning at the stake, Hope uttered an incantation that she had overheard her father use. This incantation summoned a demon who offered her a bargain. He would rescue her from death if she would renounce her humanity and serve the powers of hell. Hope accepted the bargain and was transported to the infernal realms.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
They always make such silly names for a lot of these things. But I'm pretty sure they were like, we're just going to rip this name from Dante's Inferno. That seems pretty good.
I love how often the Divine Comedy and Dante's Inferno get brought up in arguments that I see on the internet. Like, those were...
book.
Well, yeah, it's a good book, but those were written specifically to kind of be jerks. You know what I mean? Anyway. Once in hell, Hope became entangled in a civil war that was raging between Lucifer and an army of renegade devils led by a powerful sorcerer. Hope was devastated when she learned that the ambitious sorcerer challenging Lucifer.
Oh my god, that sounds like something you say to a cop when he pulls your. What's the problem, Lucifer?
Lucifer, for the control of hell, was her own father. Gradually wow, her dad was challenging Satan. I'm sorry, I'm still reading part of this. Like, it's been a while since I've read the comics to begin with, but this was not part of what I read. So this is the story that seems to make the most sense. Gradually corrupted by the nature of her surrounding, Hope was tainted with evil. She allied herself with an exiled craftsman who forged weapons for the infernal armies. While speaking to him, she declared that the innocent woman that she had been was dead, and that she would henceforth only be known as Lady Death. In her new persona, Lady Death led an uprising against the Lords of Hell during the final batter. Wow. I wish I drank so I'd have something to blame this on.
He's just stirring that batter up. We're making a cake in hell.
Why not? Lucifer cursed her never to return to Earth while the living walked. Lucifer cursed her to never return to Earth while the living walked. Lady Death swore an oath that she would circumvent Lucifer's curse by exterminating all life on Earth. Lady Death finally ended Lucifer's control over her by casting him to Heaven's Gate, a place where evil cannot go, and in doing so became the new ruler of Hell. Many of beings living in Hell believe that the ascension of Lady Death signaled the beginning of the Age of Judgment, the final battle between good and evil for the fate of Earth. That's kind of neat.
Yeah. It seems kind of grandiose, though. Like, this whole story seems grandiose over a chick getting burned at the stake.
The way that I see it, she is... You ever read those books or seen the movies where it was just a regular kid and suddenly they're gods?
Ordinary kid in extraordinary situations.
Right, but this, instead of it being an extraordinary situation, it's like putting your kid through absolute hell. Literally hell. Right. This is the darkest situation that a child, especially like Hope, wasn't very old. She was maybe 18, maybe 19. She was just an adult, and she gets sucked into hell and has to figure it out from like medieval Sweden. Like peaceful, chill life, like pious life, go to church regularly, just say your prayers, and suddenly you are in real hell. Like, you have to figure out how to survive.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like a good time.
I'd be screwed.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I go without air conditioning for 20 minutes, and I'm like, I don't like it. Make it stop.
I'm not happy about not having air conditioning either.
I can only imagine what fucking going through hell at the age of 18 would be like.
So, there is a purchase. Avatar Press begins publishing Lady Death titles in 2005. Since they only have the rights to Lady Death alone and not the rest of the Chaos Comics characters that were intertwined with her original story, Lady Death has been given a new story with notable differences in the story told at Chaos Comics. Hope is the daughter of Mary and Marius. Marius is a crusader who has been waging endless campaigns against the pagans, always returning with only his most loyal soldiers, while the peasant levies were slaughtered against the anger.
Here, get your tongue together.
So, now that I have my tongue back in order here, let's try this again. Hope is the daughter of Mary and Marius. Marius is a crusader who's been waging endless campaigns against the pagans, always returning with only his most loyal soldiers. While the peasant levies were slaughtered, this angered the survivors. Hope, realizing that her father had changed, is no longer the man he once was, follows him into the dungeons with her mother close behind. The townsfolk, meanwhile, it says batter. It says batter this time.
Fuckers.
It's the townsfolk, meanwhile, batter down the gates and invade the castle. intent on revenge. Hope discovers her father summoning dark wraiths and sacrificing the souls of countless peasants in exchange for her kingdom in the labyrinth. The wraiths refer to her father as Sagos. Sagos grabs hold of Mary, revealing that he has possessed Marius's body, and they disappear through the portal, leaving Hope behind. Cheated of their revenge, the villagers? Damn it, I was good with the batter, and then I screwed it up with villagers.
Villagers?
Yep. The villagers decide to burn Hope at the stake as a witch. Not wishing to die, Hope casts the spell she overheard her father cast, and summons the wraiths herself. The wraiths agree to transport her through the portal if she forsakes her humanity and pledges her soul to the labyrinth. Hope passes through the portal, her skin and hair turning albino in the process, the mark of all those who willingly chose to pass through the portal, and finds herself in the Blacklands. See, that's a neat little point to bring up, is why did it turn her white? It's something I never learned in the other comics. It's something I never learned in the movie either.
The movie just kind of yeeted that in there. I do remember that.
No, it just happened over time. You could see, like, as she's training, like, one strand turns white, then another strand, and she's consistently getting paler. But I think if they give an explanation, it's probably something like, well, there's no sun in hell. Well, whoop-de-fucking-do. But that doesn't work that way. You don't just turn white. Your hair just doesn't turn white. No, you got to give me a reason. That's not good enough.
I don't know, man. There's some pasty-ass goth girls on the same argument, though.
That's a lot of... Yeah, there's a lot of extra there. Nobody's that white. I know what you're talking about, because those pictures are like, that's how motherfuckers get sacrificed.
It's too hard to duck in a crowd.
All right. Anyway, there she encounters a war goth. Really?
Called it.
War goth. There she encounters War Goth, who observes her uncontrolled and instinctive use of magic, and agrees to help her destroy Sagos and rescue her mother. I totally forgot her mother even was kidnapped until just now. He recruits the sorceress Satasha, these are stupid names, to teach Hope spellcraft. Wargoth and Satasha. Wargoth also teaches her how to fight, but every weapon she wields melts in her hand due to her uncontrolled energy. Over the next 2 years, Lady Death and her companions fight through the Blacklands, hunting for Sagos. All the while, Sagos' undead army destroys and converts the cities of the Blacklands. Eventually, Lady Death and her companions track Sagos down to a temple in Carrion, where they discover Sagos holding Lady Death's mother in chains. So for 2 fucking years, this bitch has been hanging there in chains.
With Sagos.
Sagos defeats them easily and brings the temple down around them. Lady Death digs herself out and is attacked by nameless wolves. Nameless wolves? They can't just be wolves. They have to be specifically nameless. Aren't all wolves technically nameless until we give them a name?
No, they're John. They're all Johns.
They're all Dick Wolf. Anyone that has ever watched Law and Order anything is going, huh? Anyway, slaying all but 2 of them, these 2 wolves become her companions. In the city of Asuwa, Lady Death recovers the sword Deathbringer. Really?
I feel like they should have workshopped these names a little harder.
Just a little. Well, okay, so this was in 2005. Like, all this would have flown in the 80s. But, dude, it's 2005. I think I know what happened at Avatar Press. Anyway, so Deathbringer, which was specifically made for her by Satasha and the Silent One.
Oh, God, really? Yep. The Silent One? That's what
I love it. Let me guess, he doesn't talk, so nobody has to write any dialogue. Deathbringer is able to withstand her energies without being destroyed. So in 2 years, she was never able to figure out how to hold something without breaking it. She definitely didn't flick the bean in 2 years.
No man in the boat. No man in the boat was ever challenged.
It looks like our paladin visitor has returned.
Greetings and salutations. Can I get a bowl from the bartender?
Absolutely. So, what you've missed is we are now... Okay, so let me read a couple of names by you. Mary and Marius. Yeah, that one's fun. It's a woman and a man, and there's Hope is the main character before she turns into Lady Death. And Sagos. And Satasha. And Asua. And wait, this is one of my favorites. Nameless Wolves.
Nameless Wolf?
Nameless
That's the most ironic name I could ever think of.
I don't even... It's anti-ironic. It's painful.
It's a name, but the name is nameless. What?
So she trains for like 2 years, right? She has so much power that everything she holds melts. So she trains for 2 years. She's never able to hold anything. And then she gets this sword. And these guys have a long time. Let's look at this timeline real quick. Let's see, where is it? Avatar Press. So this is First War, Eternal Sins. Look. Blacklands. Look how far back.
Yeah,
really? Swimsuit 2005? Fetishes 2000? What is this? What is this?
They gave up about halfway through 2005.
What is this? 2005 and 2006 is like the year of the let's... See, I felt like I was out of line making a flick in the bean joke, but look.
No, not at all.
In 2006, there's an episode called Fetish, or an issue called Fetishes. Swimsuit 2005, Leather and Lace 2005, and 2005 Bikini Special. I feel I'm better now. I'm good. So either way, they have a long time to think this out, and they name this fucking sword Deathbringer.
Isn't that every sword ever?
Oh, look. Lady Death recovers the sword Deathbringer, which was made specifically by her friend Satasha and the Silent One. I was like, the Silent One is the cheap one because nobody had to write dialogue.
We're gonna jump to conclusions.
I will leap wildly from conclusion to the next conclusion. So anyway, Lady Death then battles in the Fangorn River. That's kind of a cool name. I'll give that one it.
Which
the
I would go to that river. I would go to that river.
She goes and gets her Deathbringer sword, and then she goes and battles in the Fangorn River, which grants knowledge of elemental magic to those who survive the experience. Wait a minute. So, she uses this power to save Satasha's home city from destruction, but learns that Sagos does not plan to just conquer the Blacklands, but to wipe out all life, and that he has the means to do it. And that's where the story just fucking straight up ends, because they decided to do titty issues.
Yep.
I want one, but that's not the point. I wanted more story, too, because I am in love with this character. I really am. Lady Death is one of my favorite comics. I do want to bring us to another part of this, something I really enjoy. And hopefully you guys are looking at the screen right now.
Yeah, cover arts.
Yes.
The
cover arts are great.
That's beautiful stuff.
But this character right here,
Ooh.
her name is La Muerta.
La Muerta.
She is very much she is just cool. She is tough. She is brutal. Hold on, let me get to her. Let me get to her page. Let's talk a little bit about La Muerta. So,
but I have a question about that sword Deathbringer.
All right.
Does it have any special properties to it, or does it just bring death as much as any other sword does?
Well, what it does is it channels her power. See, it's all the sword always shows the same, but see, like she has so much power.
bean flicking power that she had previously.
Right. So all that rage from not being able to flick the bean is channeled through the sword.
I feel like that's very anti-feminist movement. Just throwing that out there.
I don't believe there are going to be many feminists who want to hear me talk.
I'm just saying, it's not very forward progressive thinking.
If there's a feminist here, I do want to know. I want this to be noted at the very top of your. I do not ever want to offend anyone. I only intend to offend everyone.
Well, you didn't make the lore. The lore is just there.
I did. You're right, and I'm not hating on. Look, okay, so here's the thing: La Muerta and Lady Death appear to have a active sexual relationship.
Interesting.
Okay,
so
all right, there we go. There's the progression.
There's no reason why anyone should be mad. But so we are going to talk about her. They only give you a little bit of her story. But she returns home from the war in Afghanistan. Army veteran Maria Diaz wanted to settle into a quiet, peaceful life. Those dreams were shattered when her family was slaughtered by a death-worshipping crime cartel. Now, Maria dons the guise of the vigilante La Muerta, seeking blood vengeance against the city's most ruthless criminals. She is tough, dude. She is a whole nother. She's like
this version of the Punisher.
Punisher, yeah. She's just so, and the guns, the way that she does the whole candy skull mask, and I like that it changes. I like that she doesn't stick with the same boring thing every time. It looks like she's constantly updating.
Kind of gives Boondock Saints vibes.
Just a little bit, right? She's got a lot of cool art. If anyone is listening, is interested in checking it out, go to Coffin Comics Shop and just check out the La Muerta side of things. There's a lot of comics. Now, I like that they do this. They do a lot of really crazy cover art where they like kind of mimic older comic styles just to kind of do an episode.
Or maybe like a crossover.
Something small, right? There's so many cool ones. Look at that one.
Oh, that's sick.
Right? There's a lot of interest. Oh, Loco. It looks like there's another character that gets introduced later on down the line. Ooh. So they also have something called Hell Witch. I don't know anything at all about Hell Witch, but I hear that it's like really popular. And look, there's Lady Death. Wargasm? That says Wargasm.
That just reminds me of Herogasm.
Oh my god, I was gonna bring that up. And
it instantly reminded me for some reason. Oh, she's in this a lot. Lady Death is in this Hell Witch thing a lot. It also reminded me instantly of Stripper Ella, a Stan Lee flop that I absolutely fell in love with, and I'm sad that it didn't go further.
That was actually a thing. I thought
yes.
That was just some sad creation that did not turn into a thing.
No, it was wonderful. It was good. Pamela Anderson was the voice. It was a... God, it was it 90s? IMDb!
At least it's not as bad as Zombie Tramp.
Database?
Is that what that stands for?
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I learned something new today.
Is that what that's? I did not know.
Internet Movie Database, yeah.
I learned something today. You ever do that where you learn something and you're like, oh my god, really?
I should know this.
I should know this. Okay, so Stripperella, also referred to as Stan Lee's Stripperella, is an American adult animated superhero comedy television series created by Stan Lee for Spike. I wanted to read that all 3 times, so I made sure I said Stan Lee, because it still blows my mind that wonderful old man made this.
Okay, here's the thing about Stan Lee. He is the father of Marvel. He is a god, I will agree. but he is not an infallible human being. And he was a dirty old bird. I'm sorry.
Oh
One
my
of his
God.
favorite cameos was
Him saying fuck.
him in the strip club as the DJ.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cameos. My favorite thing is listening to that guy's. He's like, I worked with Stan Lee for a few years, and I did his recordings, and it just played the recording of Stan Lee saying "fuck" 40 times. It made me so happy.
I loved it.
Okay, so it says starring. All right here on IMDb, it says starring Pamela Anderson. Another person I don't care, Mark fucking Hamill.
Oh shit.
Really?
Maurice LaMarche. I love Maurice LaMarche. He took a minute to respond to a comment that I put out once, and I'm nobody, so that made me feel. And he was reaching out and saying that what I had said had touched him, and he was appreciative. And I'm like, bro, I appreciate you. Does anyone else know who that wonderful man Maurice LaMarche is?
I do not.
Okay, so he was on Futurama, but he was also on Pinky and the Brain. He was the Brain,
Okay.
right? He was. Do you remember the Real Ghostbusters?
With Bill Murray?
No. The Real Ghostbusters was an animated show.
Oh no, I don't know that shit.
I watched it when I was a kid, but he was a variety of characters in Futurama, and he was Big Bob on Hey Arnold.
Okay.
Oh shit. Okay.
So he is my childhood. He's a significant portion of my childhood. He looks a little bit like Brain, just like a person. Anyway, so the main point of that was that Kid Rock did voice acting just for this show.
Oh damn.
Yeah, isn't that great?
He put his picture away.
That did.
I need to watch this apparently.
It's pretty good. It's worth it. It's worth a watch. Now, don't watch it expecting anything substance based.
Probably not.
It's kind of a
It's-
turn your brain off kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
I was gonna say
You can get some Evil Ernie comics from the Coffin Comic Shop for pretty cheap, man. Oh, look,
yeah.
this is old school. This is Blacklands. We saw that series. Brian Pudlio, that's the original creator of Evil Ernie and Lady Death.
Don't mind me while I pick up my jaw.
Right. I love the cover art. Mischief Night. Ooh, that looks interesting. You didn't get to see like the good stuff. Hold on, let's see. Let's go to special.
I mean, I've
edition.
seen some good stuff. Oh damn!
see, this is their modern age though of their comics.
I selected everything. There we go. See, I love the La Muerta covers. There we go. This one is really cool. The Retribution hardcover edition. It shows La Muerta holding a candy skull above her head, and it shows like she's got her shirt pulled up just below her breast, and it shows nothing but a skeleton underneath.
Below.
It's
That's
so
pretty sick.
brutal. I would hang that on my wall. It's so cool. And you don't see a lot of Latin, especially Latina superheroes. I really appreciate this. Like I like it a lot. I think it's awesome, and it's like I can almost see.
The influences.
No. Well, I mean, I can see influences in this. This is very Warhammery. The homages hardcover book. The cover of it looks like a Warhammer. I don't know. Even more naughty. They do it. They literally go after fan service hard.
Actually, I don't mind it when they shell out for fan service personally.
Me either. Like, I mean, it's available, and that's cool. I will have it just for the collection because I refuse to not have it in my collection now. The art books are worth it. Look, $45. Oh, it's got a SKU number. That's neat. It's like a. That means I can look it up at school.
Hey, gentlemen,
Yes.
What's up, buddy?
there's someone in the next village over who really needs a hug, so I gotta bounce.
Well,
Yeah,
buddy, you. I was good to see you, and I'm glad to have you here. Anytime you want to
Absolutely.
stop by, you are always welcome.
Absolutely. Tell the barkeep I said thanks for the bowl.
Will do. And I've been waiting to say this since you got here, but is this a crossover episode?
I mean,
Uh,
it's not.
I just wanted to say that. Thank you, Red Top Cosplay, for giving me my BoJack Horseman reference. Red Top Cosplay, you guys are awesome.
Yes, we love Jay. All right,
So-
you guys have a good one.
Yes,
I'll see you
buddy.
later.
So anyway, we are
staring at a very provocative cover art for an art book for Lady Death. Like,
are
that
you
is
complaining. I
that
didn't
no.
think so.
That is Playboy at its finest, but in 2D drawing format. Like, that's the one thing I do like. At least it's not like trashy.
right.
Like, it's
not
not
trashy.
Hustler. It's Playboy.
It's
like-
very risque.
Yeah, nice. For those
Wait a
of you
minute.
who can't see the screen, there's literally a comic cover that has a blacked out label that says risque on it.
No one is gonna see those screens. That is a photograph.
No,
Yes.
no, that's just highly detailed.
No, that is a photograph.
I
That is
mean,
an edited photograph. There's no way that is not a photograph.
the magic of cosplayers. The magic that is cosplayers.
Right? And you know, I've never seen a Lady Death cosplay. It might be because of the lack of clothing, but they have armored versions. And I would love to see a La Muerta cosplay. That would be cool.
I don't know. I think you'd have to be like really body positive and confident to be able to do that. Not so much like
Buddy.
not knocking not those who would want to try. I'm saying that is a very hourglassy figure, and like I said,
She's
you'd have
very-
to have a.
She's very hippie, but I think it's if they love the comic book enough, it shouldn't matter.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I'm not saying don't do it.
But
I'm
there's
saying-
other options. You don't have to go like almost naked. You could go armored. You could go
Oh,
with the
for sure.
cape. You know, there's several options there. Or like I want to do an Evil Ernie cosplay.
I see a lot of. You ain't getting any of my model paint and kiss my ass. That shit's
I-
expensive.
I have my own. I don't need yours. I have my own. Shame on you.
Which is funny. I actually have a model paint that would be perfect for that. It's that exact shade of like, good lord, what is with your browsing history?
Stop digging at my computer.
That's good stuff.
What? Not allowed to judge me. Shame
I'm
on
not.
you.
I'm not. No judgments here. This is a
Stop looking
judge-free
at my
zone.
magic tablet. You don't know what naughty things I'll look on in there. Just get New Orleans on this thing, you know.
I want to look at this Hell Witch thing a little bit
Me too.
deeper.
She-
It seems like a pretty cool, like, I mean, just based off the cover art alone, it seems fairly interesting.
They don't seem to have a spot for us to learn.
About these things.
Yeah. Oh, we can buy from Chaos, from CrossGen, from Avatar, Boundless. So we can watch. We can let's click. Let's check out these Avatar covers we didn't get to see. Where's the swimsuit edition?
Nailed it. Oh, that was probably a limited print.
Hey, it says. She holding him by the finger.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like, here we go.
I got your finger. I got your finger.
Hell, present day. Hell Witch wasn't always the dominant Hellborn leader that she is today. Able to rival Lady Death in battle, Hell Witch began life as a lowly hatchling, the lowest caste in the magnificent Hell Hive. Hell Hive? I like it.
It's better. We're getting better.
We're getting better. Destined forever to be a pit slave, but through sheer drive and determination, she rises through the castes to become a warrior, to take a lover, to gain respect. But the Hive Queen takes notice and makes Hell Witch's life an unbearable hell. Really? Really? But the Hive Queen takes notice and makes Hell Witch's life an unbearable hell? First off, she lives in hell. Her name's Hell Witch. You can't say makes her life a living hell. Unbearable hell or not. Like, that's unacceptable. Anyway. Can a lowly rebel pit slave topple a mighty hierarchy out to crush her? Apparently not.
Bro, once again, with the interesting cover arts, I like the Saturday morning cartoon they got there going.
Look at that.
$100?
Yeah.
Oh, because it's a Metallica edition. Like, oh, Metallic edition. Sorry.
I love how you said Metallica edition because of the Eddie reference earlier. They literally, when he kills everyone, they literally call it a Megadeth, and just because of I say just because. I bet that's what that means. Let me define that. Stop looking at my browsing history.
I'm judging you harshly.
Ah!
Judge-free zone. Hey, quit syncing up your phone to your fucking PC.
It's not. Okay. A unit used in quantifying the casualties of nuclear war equal to the deaths of 1 million people. Wow. I didn't know that needed to be a word. I'm somehow less happy knowing that's a word.
That's an idea that actually is definable. Or defined.
Ooh, Prince. Lady Death. Bio. Lady Death slays. Lady Death rules. Is that her? Look at that. That's Maleficent.
Yep.
So, when we met Stephen Butler, he was drawing an Iron Maiden print of Lady Death. And
yeah.
I want one.
Oh, yeah.
So bad. I will get one. I will buy one as soon as I am able. Look at that. They've got some of the old what were they called? The custom culture creatures. Let's see. Is that supposed to be Green Lantern, or is that just all green? I like that one.
Aqua Chick. Oh, whoa. I don't
Miss
know why.
Death.
What's that one on the right? Black Magic? Naughty Black Magic?
Naughty Black Magic. I love
actually,
it.
Well, let's examine that for a second. That's actually a really cool cover art. Like it's
just a print.
It's caricature, but that's kind of cool.
See, I told you they've got a lot of really great artists over there.
It's a wide variety of art styles for sure, to say the least. I mean, I'm sure the comic books are fucking fantastic considering all this art that's being poured into it.
That is so sacrilegious.
As we were saying, like sure, still, and plot. Yeah.
There's a lot of effort put into these. Like, you can tell that this wasn't just a comic book that they intended to make money off of. This was a labor of love. They cared
for
about
sure.
this. Superman. They have a cover that says Super Death. See, I like this. This one's nice.
See, this is why we should run all this back on live stream. Like, we should literally live stream us just looking through Lady Death cover arts. That would be cool.
Except for the fact that now you've drawn attention to my internet history.
I didn't say use this recording. No, you have a delete browser history key. Like,
Yeah, but you know, I don't want to. I bookmarked some of my favorite pages. Oh, I could get buttons. Okay, so I know that nobody out there is really going to care, but I have an obsession with patches and buttons and pens.
you and my daughter both.
And I have amassed a collection from my time at all these cons and stuff, and stickers. Oh my God, stickers! I make stickers and collect stickers because I have absolutely no self-control. Wooden nickel? I want a wooden nickel. They sell wooden nickels for $1.
Actually, it's funny that you say that. I actually got to see an original print wooden nickel.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Did it look like a nickel?
It did. It looked exactly like, and it was actually minted by the U.S.
That's
Pretty dope.
unexpected.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked. It was pretty cool that they had those. Apparently, that was a thing once upon a time.
So, we are going to talk about one last thing. Nobody wants to talk about it.
Shadowhawk. That's in a lovely apartment complex.
I love that it doesn't even pop up. And that there's like a Marvel. Like, are you talking about a Marvel character? No, I'm not. Oh, let's make sure. All right, so I will confess that I have never actually read any of Shadowhawk. But I had a crap load of Image Comics comic books. I loved Image Comics comic book style. I loved the art. I loved the way it looked. I loved everything about Image. And that's why. It's because it was that's where Todd McFarlane was a founder.
Oh yeah, you can see his art style all over these comics.
So, where is it? When did he start his work on What I Care About? I did not know that he worked on a Batman. Todd McFarlane worked on a Batman and a Spider-Man, but my thing about Todd McFarlane is Spawn.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Spawn
That's what he's known for.
That's what I know him for. I didn't know that he was even a part of, and I know people that are Spider-Man fans are going to be like, you thought you were a nerd. You don't know. You didn't know. No, I didn't. I didn't know. And I'm sorry I didn't know. I apologize. I'm a terrible person. But no, I didn't know. Let's see, McFarlane. So apparently we're not going to talk about what I thought we were going to talk about. We're going to talk about Spawn for a second.
Okay.
And Todd McFarlane. He teamed up with 6 other popular artists to form Image Comics, an umbrella company under which each owned a publishing house. McFarlane Studio, Todd McFarlane Productions, produced his creation, the occult-themed Spawn. Written and drawn by McFarlane, the Image's second release following the release of Bob Litfield's Youngblood. I remember Youngblood. Wow. Now,
Youngblood. It's not ringing a bell for me either.
Savage Dragon should.
Nope.
No? Oh, come on, man. He's a cop. And he beats
Ooh.
up super freaks.
Oh, good lord.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, Savage Dragon is the shit.
Please tell me that my mic didn't catch that fart.
No, it didn't. But now
Okay.
everyone knows you farted.
Yeah, I farted at approximately 1 hour, 15 minutes.
I'm leaving it. So I have a comic that is Shadowhawk, and it's Shadowhawk's about to get his face beat in by Savage Dragon. And it's
Okay.
one of my that would I love Clash comic books. I have a Savage Dragon where he's like losing it, but it's just one of my Savage Dragon. It's like whatever. I got an old Superman Man of Steel that I'm not even that proud of. I don't really care, but the one I'm really happy about is one that probably isn't worth anything, and it's Superman versus Predator, and it's because Predator's chasing Superman and Superman's actually running from him, and that makes me laugh. Okay, so,
The only Superman comic that I ever actually enjoyed, and I mean legitimately enjoyed, was the death of Superman. And the reason is because I absolutely loved watching Doomsday beat the living shit out of that guy. I can't stand Superman.
I don't like Superman either.
I hate that he farts and he creates new powers.
Well,
Like,
and then like there's powers that they changed his powers over the years too. He used to be able to do other stuff, and everybody's gonna hate on me because whatever. I've always been a Batman fanatic, but I also am a Green Lantern Flash fan. So like I kind of fill all the bases. But if I had to pick one, it would probably be Green Lantern. Because it's all based on imagination.
oh yeah, his whole thing, however strong his imagination is how strong his powers are. That's kind of a cool power.
Well,
it's
and
like
I
the
love
inverse of Deadpool.
the way that they wrote it was really cool because they made sure to change it every time the ring changed from lantern to lantern. Like Hal would always make things that were mechanical, and John always made things that were just bigger versions of smaller things. It was everybody had a strength.
An Air Force pilot?
Yeah, he was a pilot, so most of his stuff was basically planes.
Yeah.
So, and they showed that pretty well in the movie. Everybody's gonna hate on the Green Lantern movie forever, but
even Ryan Reynolds hated that movie.
I don't care. I love it because I got to see the Green Lantern movie.
Fair enough. I'm sure there's deeper connotation to that, but okay.
Well, we're not going to get another Green Lantern movie, at least not for a while. DC does really good. They do really good animated movies.
Oh God, do they? God, they have stepped up their quality for animation. Oh my God, but their live action
Is
fucking
atrocious.
terrible. Keep in mind that's just an opinion, but
That is an opinion. I mean,
oh, it's so hard. Like the new Batman movie.
I didn't even watch it yet.
So hard to watch. It was 3 hours of just horrible Batman, and I was just like, it's like they picked the worst parts of Batman to make a Batman movie. It was like before he could kick any real ass, and after he's still dealing with trauma. Because like in the movie, and I'm not going to spoil too much of it for you, in the movie it's him literally it's him 2 years after he started being the Batman. So he doesn't have any of the cool gadgets. He's still like having a hard time concealing his identity. It's just so
Is that
bad.
Batmobile's a hot rod?
Oh yeah, and Alfred solves half the mystery. Like,
Okay, to be fair, Alfred was always a very strong ally and very strong. Like he was more important than the bad computer.
Oh, for sure.
And
But to have like Bruce is supposed to be this genius that he is the world's greatest detective.
he is the
And
world's greatest detective.
he did
Later.
not. Well, yeah, I was gonna say he did not detect shit like in that movie.
Well, okay, and you've got to have like a little bit of. You got to have a little bit of respect for Alfred, man. He had. Some,
Oh, for sure. He killed
My-
Superman.
He was the coldest person. Like he really was. He was brutal.
Yeah, man. You don't step into the Batcave. We don't just walk into the Batcave. That's not how this works. Like,
Like,
rap tap on the door first. Like,
there's a scene in the comic where he said Master Wayne prides himself on never taking a life. And the whole time he's talking, he's loading a shotgun and he says, I have no such reservations.
it's cold blooded, man.
Bro, can you imagine being trapped and the only way out is either off a cliff into like the abyss of you don't know what's down there, or through an old man that you're pretty sure when you die is gonna consume your soul. Like he went from being a normal old man to a terrifying force.
Yeah. I love Alfred.
Oh yeah.
Except for Bat Nipples Alfred. That was the worst one.
Oh my god, did you see what's the heavy metal Batman YouTube thing?
Oh, Bat Metal? Yeah,
Is
that's
it Bat Metal?
Yeah, Metalocalypse is the one. Metalocalypse is the, or not Metalocalypse. Death Clock. They're the ones that sing all the Bat Metals.
That instantly made me happier.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Oh yeah, that should make your pee-pee happy. Like,
Oh
that's why
man,
they're so awesome.
we need to talk about some Adult Swim shows.
All right, everybody out of the pool.
Everybody out of the pool for Adult Swim. Everybody out.
I wonder if that was actually a thing in history. If like the Adult Swim thing was actually like only adults could swim at one point.
I remember having Adult Swim at the city pool.
Really?
Yeah.
That is fucking astounding. I never knew that. But I also grew up in a bad neighborhood without fucking pool, so I
think we should tell a certain story.
Which one? That's
Chicago.
Oh, good God! Please, no, not the Chicago story.
So,
do I really have to relive this shit again?
let me tell the story. It's so good. All right, so this guy's dating a what can we call her? What do we call a horse person?
Centaur?
No, we're just gonna call her. I don't know. You were dating a goblin orc hybrid.
Oh my God.
Good,
Dude,
that's good. That's on the nose.
Bro, either somebody was on a ladder or somebody was in a hole. Like there was only there's no two ways the dichotomy of that would line up.
No. You ever chalk a pool cue? Oh, I'm not 12, I promise. Anyway.
Oh, hang on, let me get over the pool cue thing. Alright, continue on.
Alright, so he is trying desperately to get away from this
Gobberin.
She was not a pleasing person, so he's trying to get away from her. And so he tells her that we're leaving and we're going to Chicago. Well, how long did we stay gone in reality? Like, when we called her back, we had to call her back later that night because I had gotten pulled over. Is that what happened?
No, she was still in the car with us because
Oh, we
you
were
were
trying
driving
to
that
drop her
88.
off.
Yeah, she was driving that 88 Integra, and we were trying to make it back to your
No.
house.
I was driving. It was a 98.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So you had that Integra, and
We were
You're
trying to go
driving.
drop her off,
yeah, so that we
And-
could go out to Chicago.
which was
And-
us going to a bar called Chicago's. We just wanted to get rid of her.
So
But we owned a business at the time, so we were like, oh, well, we got to go to Chicago. Well, she
it's a
didn't know any
business
better.
trip, yeah, and then we fucking wind up pulling into one of those police traffic stops. And that's when we find out that your insurance is bad and your tags are expired.
Oh yeah, because I don't pay attention at all.
You fucking pull us over.
And there was something up with my license, and oh god, I remember I had to call my ex-wife, and she magicked insurance.
Within the next few minutes.
Yeah, within minutes we had insurance again, and he was gonna let me go. So I was like, yes, I got to keep my car because I loved my Integras.
But
I've
you
had
couldn't
like 4
drive.
or 5 of them, but I wasn't allowed to drive because I had a suspended license.
And I couldn't drive standard at the time.
So
she
she
says, she says that she knows how to drive a standard, which proved to be fatally not true.
I had modified my car, and there was a bunch of modifications, but it didn't have enough modifications to change how a basic standard transmission car drives.
Oh my god.
She gets in and proceeds to just
Fucking
tear
dump
up
the clutch.
My flywheel just fucking broke all kinds of shit. Third never worked again.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh god, the work it took to repair that was the worst. And then we went to the bar for about an hour,
Yeah.
and then the bar fucking closed.
Oh my god. Adventure time.
Adventure time! Showing up at your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, flashing my lights, honking the horn. Adventure time!
And I still have to get up and go to work that morning. I remember those days. Jesus Christ. I don't get out of bed for until noon. Fucking adventure time! It's 8:30 in the fucking morning.
Yeah. God, I was a lazy piece of shit back then.
We were all lazy pieces of shit back then. That's because we were young.
Now if I
We could
sleep
do
until
stupid shit.
stupid shit.
It's stupid shit. It's just stupid shit.
If I sleep till 7 o'clock now,
I'm like, oh, I slept in for once. Yeah.
oh no! Like at 7:30, I'm hurting. I've been in bed too long.
All right, and with that, we should probably do an outro.
Yeah,
It's been about an hour and a half of recording. I'm pretty sure we've got enough break time in there.
Yep. We've got another lovely night of recording and serving you your drinks and entertaining you with our stories. So we hope you enjoyed our weird walk through Coffin Comics.
And our mindless
enjoyed-
ramblings.
Hope you enjoyed meeting Lady Death, La Muerta, Hell Witch, and Evil Ernie. If you have any suggestions for conversations you'd like to have with us, send us a message. We have an Instagram. We also have a Facebook. All of that will be linked. We hope you have a wonderful night. And we hope you get home safely.
Without burning up any mechanical parts in your car.
No mechanical parts. No traffic stops. Just go home safely. Thank you for joining us. And it's been another night at the Bard's Tavern.
You don't have to go, but you can't stay here.